Hello everyone, this is NS, that's right, stands for Naruto Starcraft, and today I'll be casting a game between Masq and Nas. Here I am going to speed it up just a little bit because, early on, not much is going to go on, and I have to go somewhere. So, as you can see, Masq, everyone knows about him by now. He is the kind of player that's growing up from that's crawling up from the ashes rather, and nobody knew about him until recently after he took Hydra, and of course Hydra, being the sword loser that he is, by the way, he went on and QQ'd and called him a bunch of names. So yeah, here I am recording another game from Masq, and I do like Masq because he is a Terran player, and he plays his Terran the same style that I play mine. I do like to harass my opponent and rush as soon as possible, and that's exactly what Masq does every game. So that's what makes him an extremely dangerous player because he is the kind of player that's always looking to push the opponent against the rope, and throw his uppercuts and one-twos and whatnot. So the opponent has to be ready because most of Masq's game that I watched, most of his games do not go past mid-game, and as a matter of fact, they always end in an early game rush or early game harass or some sort of early game maneuver or technique rather. So here we have both players going for their assimilator and refinery in the perspective, and they both have blocked their ramp. As you can see, that scouting probe cannot enter. So Masq going for an early orbital command like a lot of Terran players do very early. And as you can see over there on the resource tab, there is a high amount of minerals being accumulated, and that could only mean one thing. That's right, the command center going up, and that command center is most likely going to be lifted off and going here at this natural expansion, which is guarded by the two rocks. So if you are a starting player, or even if you are a pro, remember that over there is always better than the expansion in the front of the base rather, which has the multiple ways of being harassed. So here we have a double assimilator going up for Nas, which means that he will be needing his gas, which means that he probably will start getting a couple of early sentries to make up for the difference in minerals and gas spending. Because I believe when a Protoss player does that, it does mean that he's going to enter Sim City mode and build a whole bunch of gateways and buildings and whatnot. So far, Masq doing what he does best, getting his barracks, and I believe like probably by the end of this game or by the time this game is over, Masq is probably gonna have like 6-7 barracks. So it doesn't surprise me at all. I am waiting for him to do that. And here it looks like there's 3 gateways down. Cybernetics researching the warp gate. Command center going to land in his new home, which is this expansion, which is that natural rather. So it is being, as you can see over there in the production tab, it is being upgraded to an orbital command right away, which makes sense. You want to take advantage of that orbital command ability as soon as possible because it's just simple math, right? The quicker you get your meals, the more of an economic advantage you will have. So it's all good, right? And here we have resources so far similar, harvester count pretty similar. Nas heading gas a little bit because he does have the double assimilator. And what did I say about the sentries? They are right there. So here we see the destructible rocks being destroyed by Masq's Marines. And over there, as I said before, look how many barracks are going up. He does have a ton of workers. He does have mules at both expansions. His ramp is blocked. He is getting gas. He is getting the engineering bay. And as you can see, he will continue to build more and more barracks because that's what Masq does. That's how he plays. He likes to put excessive pressure on his enemy using his infantry, and that's exactly what he's doing this game again. And as you can see over there, he is getting the weapons upgrade, which will help hugely. As always, upgrades always do help. A very large amount that they help because just think about it. It's simple math again. If one unit has +1 upgrade, it's always going to win against a unit that has a similar unit, of course, that has +0 upgrades. And here, Nas is taking down the destructible rocks to his natural, and it just makes sense to do that. I'm surprised he did it so late and it chose to get so many units. I mean, after he saw that the ramp to Masq's base was blocked, he should have known that Masq is probably going to build a command center and lift it off over there. So he should have, tried to, get his own. But eventually he is getting it right now, and he's just hanging onto that tower, Zelnaga Tower, grabbing sight of the area. I always laugh at that icon for the concussive shells, man, because he looks nothing like the actual concussive shells icon. Ah, throat is sore a little bit. So there we go. As you saw on the mini map, that big blue blob that just popped up. Masq is going for a third expansion, and as you can see, he chose to put Marines in the bunkers. It makes sense because Marines are a lot softer than Marauders, so that's always a good choice to put the Marines in there. Now, in the units tab, you can see the army size is quite similar. I don't understand why he's destroying those rocks, those set of rocks down there, because they do act as a protective barrier to his natural base. But really, I have no idea why he did that. You know, I believe he probably will be paying for that next time, because if you think about it, what's stopping those Marines and Marauders from running in there right now and having a sexy time with his probes? Nothing, right? And there you go. The scan went down. Masq is aware of that place, and I do believe that probably that will be his the first place where he does strike. And both players just massing up units, and here we have tons of barracks producing Marauders and Marines, but mainly Marauders, because Marauders are sexy. And look at the income tab, and you see that Masq is starting to take off. Why? Because of his mules, and also because of the fact that he does have more bases than a Protoss player, and that's never a good thing for a Protoss player, man. If you are fighting a Terran player, make sure to always expend any kind of effort that you have to try to minimize how fast and how far the Terran can expand, because once they outbase you, man, it's pretty much GG, and you can't stop them from that point on. So that's a pretty good tip that I will gladly send out to you guys, and whoever that watches this, I hope you remember that. And here, more mules being called down, and as you can see over there, the army sizes. I do believe that Masq has the advantage at the current point, because the Terran units, they're so small, and you can fill a lot of units in a very small amount of area, so you will always have an advantage over your opponent. And it looks like we're about to see a fatty fight going on, and I can't wait. There's a whole bunch of more units going out, and it's funny because look, they're moving out at the exact same time, and that's what they mean when they say Diamond League players, man, because they think very alike. So here we have the two forces facing each other, and here we go. Lots of action going on, lots of force fields going down. A perfect block, it seems. It's screwing around with a lot of the pathing of the Marauders, but it does look like that the Marauders are going to hold their own, because the Marauders have such a far range, and they are firing, and a lot of the shields have diminished. And at this point, I do believe that Masq is going to take this battle at least. Yeah, because there are more reinforcements coming by. It is closer to Masq base, and he is sending reinforcements. And remember, if you are a pro player, you have to always reinforce your units even as you're fighting. And as we can go, as we can see, some of these Marauders, some of the Stalkers rather, are trying to run for it. Two of them make it, but one of them is almost dead. And if I were those Stalkers, man, I would have rather died in an honorary battle rather than to run away as a coward. But here we look at the Harvester tab and the Income tab, and as you can see, almost triple the amount of NAS. I do believe that NAS is going to get pwned. And as you can see here, see, guys, this is why you don't remove those rocks and easy access to the base. Now here, the workers are coming to help, but at this point, man, I do believe that it is too little, too late. The workers are getting juiced, are getting taken for all they got. Their minerals being stolen from their pockets by the Marauders, and at this point, I do believe that it is too late. And even that Marauder making a mistake of exposing himself. But look at the army size, the units being produced, and also look at the Income tab. More than triple. That's about 4 times. That is over 4 times the amount of minerals being gathered by Masq. And at this point, man, it is too little, too late. And as you can see on the minimap, Masq did go for that high yield expansion. So he is just going to pump out more and more and more of these units. And I do believe for Nash, it is over, as he just simply doesn't have enough units. A couple of force fields going down, but 4 fields, and it's not going to help. And there's the JJ.